Hola comrades, it's YouTube's Kitfluencer of Models and Monsters, and today's video is a more somber one. Today is the 80th anniversary of the world's first nuclear attack, that being on Hiroshima. On August 6, 1945, the United States dropped the uranium-filled Little Boy atomic bomb on the city of Hiroshima with the intent of forcing Japan to finally surrender and end the Second World War. This attack resulted in the deaths of over 100,000 people from the immediate blast, as well as several thousand more in the following years resulting from the nuclear fallout. To commemorate this date, I will be building Academy's 1/72nd scale B-29 in the markings of the Enola Gay, the plane that dropped the Little Boy bomb. Now, in my opinion, this is still the best B-29 model kit you can find in any scale, although I say that now. Probably as soon as this video finishes, HK is going to announce that they've made a brand new tool 1/48 scale B-29, but now is not the time for pessimism. I will get started on this in just a moment, but before then, I would love to hear from you, the viewers. What are your thoughts on the atomic bombings? Do you think that they were a necessary evil to finally end the war? Or do you think it was an unnecessary use of force and a war crime? Feel free to leave your opinions in the comments. With that being said, let's all be thankful that this never happened again, and be hopeful that this never will happen again. On to the build. I consider this build a revisiting, as this was a model I built once before when I was young and needed the work. As I alluded to, this B-29 is a fairly old tooling, but I still consider it the best Superfortress model. Considering the size, there isn't too much construction involved. The cockpit and aft compartments are detailed, but other than that, it's pretty basic. Portions of the kit that are lacking, I purchased some photo etch to help liven it up. With everything ready, let's begin. What this kit lacks out of the box in certain areas, it makes up for with a nicely detailed cockpit. To start, I prepare everything that requires photo etch. Here I am sawing off the engineer's control stand and replacing it with PE. When rolling photo etch, to make curves, depending on the diameter, I like to use anything from toothpicks to paintbrushes. There is a mix of painted and unpainted PE. I only attach the unpainted parts at this point, as I like to save the painted ones for later. Always use CA glue to attach photo etch. Plastic cement won't do anything to metal. If If I have any gripes with this kit, it's the ridiculous amount of sink marks. Now I understand that a model with interior and exterior detail makes it hard to hide these, but geez. After some Tamiya white putty and rigorous sanding, all sink marks are taken care of. The out-of-box instrument panels were replaced entirely with PE, which required a lot of folding and bending. The nose wheel well, much of the same. And the control column. A lot of the molded on plastic had to be shaved off to allow room for the PE. Closing sale. All plastic seatbelts must go. The pressurized crew access tunnel makes a good straw. Other than the racks, the bomb bay is a little bare, so I added a few wires. Each rack has a sprue connector in between them. Stability, I guess. They need to be removed. Remember, watch you finger. So easy. Remember when I mentioned I was switching to VMS acrylic no peel primer as my new go-to? Well, turns out it sucks, so I'm still stuck with lacquer. Like with anything pre-color photography, it was hard to find the accurate interior colors of the Enola Gay, so I trusted my judgment and chose yellow for the wheel wells and green for the cockpit. After a quick coat of all-clad aqua gloss, Tamiya dark brown accent color helps accentuate the panel lines and crevices. Now, with everything painted, I was then able to apply the painted PE parts, such as the instrument panel and seat belts. While I'm putting this PE together, let's take a minute to hear from this video's sponsor.
Nothing beats a Jet 2 holiday.
Like I said, cockpit detail is very good, especially with these Edward photo etched parts. Now that my drink is finished, I can join the cockpit and the aft cabin with the crew tunnel. The most daunting task of any aircraft with multiple bulkheads is aligning everything perfectly so that there are no gaps in the fuselage. Do not forget to add nose weight. Last thing you want after all that work is a tail sitter. Sadly, it did not fit together great. Better break out the sprue glue again. Well, while I fit all these important parts together poorly, if you're enjoying the video, do me a favor and like, comment, and subscribe. Gracias. To smooth out the primer coat, I take some 3000 grit sanding sponge and gently sand the surface. Normally, this is when I would perform my polishing routine, but due to an extreme shortage of time, I skipped it and decided to just try airbrushing AK Super Chrome right after painting this portion with matte aluminum. So freaking metal, dude. Sadly, I need to clear coat this with all-clad aqua gloss and ruin its luster. But you need protection, am I right? So I decided to paint the important insignias and stencils, a decision I later regretted as it cost me valuable time. It could have looked better, but honestly, putting those giant decals on would have been a total nightmare. The rest of the nose art and stencils I just left to the decals. Yeah. Get it out of your system, you immature heathens. And after that came a quick panel wash with Tamiya Black. With painting essentially done, all that was left was to attach all the remaining extremities. Just a friendly note, the landing gear on this kit is quite flimsy, so exercise caution when attempting this kit. I had a minor heart attack here when I found out that my B-29 was in fact a tail sitter. Luckily, however, just adding a few more weights in the nacelles was all that was needed to balance it all out. Phew. And I do believe we can call it a day, and just in time too. I'm not gonna hide it, I could have done better on this one, but time constraints forced me to rush through objectives that I otherwise would have spent more time on. Not to mention, this kit seems to be showing its age. Don't get me wrong, I still think it's the best B-29 kit available, but this is a subject that really needs a new tool. Well, stay tuned, comrades, and look out for a Halloween build, as well as another giant aircraft coming up next. Thank you very much for watching. Remember to like, comment, subscribe, and until the next one, adios.